Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. And today we are talking Blu-rays and 4K, but that's not all. I also happen to find some movie soundtracks that I thought were too cool to pass up, especially for the low price. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Blu-rays, 4Ks, and some CDs. So let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right into my latest physical media haul. So let's get started with the movie soundtracks I picked up recently, and this was totally random. I decided that I wanted to take some old books into Second & Charles and trade them in. This is actually the second time I've done this over the past couple of months now. And anyway, we dropped them off, we left for quite a while, and then came back and we're walking around shopping, and it took forever. My son was just freaking out the entire time until finally he fell asleep. And so my mom was nice enough to just push him around the store the entire time as we were waiting. And I looked at everything at that point, the books, the movies. And so I was like, well, let's look at the CD, see if there's any soundtracks that look cool. And lo and behold, I found 4 that I couldn't leave behind. So that's what we'll get started with. And first up is actually a movie I've never even seen, but the soundtrack just looked awesome. This is The Crow Salvation. So you have a Filter on here. Rob Zombie is on the back, which I enjoy. Method, Static X, like C-Bell of Fear Factory, Danzig. So just really good bands on this one. Hopefully you can see that. The glare might be throwing you off a little bit there, but yeah, just a really good soundtrack. And so I was like, yeah, this looks like a lot of fun. I'm definitely grabbing this one, and has the booklet, everything all complete. These all look like they will play, which is great. But yeah, I just thought this is cool, so had to have this one. This is The Crow Salvation. I do own this one on DVD. I have to get around to it eventually here. But anyway, Crow Salvation on CD, the movie soundtrack. It's so very fitting to show this one today because it just released on 4K from Arrow. I have my copy sitting right over there. I still need to watch it, but that'll be happening soon here. Deep Blue Sea, the motion picture soundtrack. So yeah, this is another one that looks great. LL Cool J, of course, is on here a couple times. I'm seeing if there's other names I recognize on here. Really, Smoke Man is on here, I guess. But yeah, just grabbed this one mostly because of the fact that it's Deep Blue Sea, which one of my favorite shark films, and I'm sure you're going to hear me talk about it a lot more just because of the 4K that came out. Some awesome stills from the movie itself, but a really good design on this CD as well. So yeah, really cool. I love this movie. Very happy that I was able to find the soundtrack. This is Deep Blue Sea. I was thrilled to come across this one. I actually have the original film in my collection, the soundtrack, of course, but now I also have Scream 2 in the collection. So this was another one that I grabbed mostly because of the movie itself, but the Foo Fighters are on here, Tonic, Everclear, Less Than Jake is on here as well, Dave Matthews Band, Sugar Ray, love it. So, I mean, yeah, this is just cool. Awesome movie, great soundtrack. Hopefully you guys are able to read that one as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm never going to pass up any of these. I need Scream 3 now to have the full original trilogy, and then I don't even know if they released one for Scream 4 and beyond. Probably not, because I feel like that era was past by that time, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm sure there's one for Scream 3 that I definitely need for the collection though. This though is Scream 2. Last but not least, this one is a little bit different, but another one that there was no chance I was leaving this one behind. This is from the Blair Witch Project. This is Josh's Blair Witch mix. So the idea, of course, is that this is the soundtrack he put together before they left for this trip, and you can see all the names on the back there with some stills from the movie, which is just awesome to see. Skinny Puppy is on here. Typo Negative, Meat Beat Manifesto. So a lot of what is probably more punk, maybe music that I just am not familiar with. I've half heard of Skinny Puppy, of course, but that is about it. So yeah, we will see. I love just the aesthetics of this one. I think is so cool. You know what? We're going to open this one up because I actually didn't look through all these booklets, but this one just feels like it would be, oh my gosh, oh my God, that's awesome. A tattoo. A Blair Witch tattoo. That is so cool. Anyway, let's see. Oh, look at that. The original movie poster on the inside. Wow. I am impressed. So there is one of the foldouts, there's what we've already seen, and then there is the inside there. So that is so cool. Oh, this is like the story of the Blair Witch Project. Man, that's awesome. I'm happy I opened this one. This was the right one to open. But anyway, we will leave it there with the soundtrack. So the last soundtrack I found is from the Blair Witch Project. We have Josh's Blair Witch Mix. All right, let's switch gears a little bit here and move over to the Blu-rays I've picked up recently. And fittingly, we will start off with a couple of concert movies that I don't usually ever buy, but I'm a giant fan of both of these. I listened to them all the time when I was working back at Family Video, and we just needed something on in the background, and this was great music, so I put these on. But the first one here, I grabbed This Is It, the Michael Jackson concert film, and it is so good. I love this one. I don't think I've ever sat down and watched this from start to finish. It was always on in the background while I was working at Family Video because I was mostly interested in the music. So excited to check this one out in full, give it its full attention at some point here. But yeah, this one is, I believe, I bought this off of eBay, and it was sold to me as like a Target exclusive edition. And I think what makes it the exclusive about it is the fact that it had a DVD with it. Now, unfortunately, the DVD was not included in this one, which the seller did not make clear. But either way, it has the Blu-ray, which makes me happy. So that's what I would watch anyway. It would just be cool to be complete. But yeah, either way, a fantastic concert film. If you are a Michael Jackson fan, obviously you will enjoy this. This is great. I said the words "this is" like 7 times right in a row there. But anyway, we have Michael Jackson's This Is It. And I'll pretty much repeat everything I said about the last one for this one, because this is another one I put on all the time. Now, the music on this one is going to be a lot more divisive. People will probably not like this music quite like most people will like Michael Jackson, but it's Katy Perry, the movie, Part of Me, I think it's called. Yeah. And so what's really cool about this is actually the Blu-ray 3D version of it. So I was able to sneak another Blu-ray 3D into the collection, which always makes me happy. And I just love this one. It's so much fun to listen to. This was just a great, like, upbeat, music-wise upbeat, because the story itself is not very upbeat, but the music in it is, and so it's perfect for background fodder while I was working. And yeah, very happy to have this in the collection for the first time. Another one that technically I've probably seen it, if you want to count it as being watched, more times than I can count, but I don't think I've ever sat down to watch from start to finish. But this one, I will admit, I get stuck on more because there was more of a story going on with this concert than maybe with the Michael Jackson one. But yeah, very interested to check this one out again. This is so cool to have in Blu-ray 3D. We have Katy Perry, the movie, Part of Me. Next up is actually a double dip for me, but I was randomly doing some research and discovered that this release of the movie had some bonus features that the release I currently already owned did not have, so I grabbed this off of eBay. This is Sleeping Beauty, and specifically this is the 2008 Blu-ray release of the movie. So you can see it has first off, a great slipcover with it, and it opens up, which is really cool. So you can see all of the different special features and everything that's included. And there is the back. And then it is a 2-disc set on the inside, which is really cool. But the version I already owned was the Diamond edition of this. I actually found this at Disc Replay last year. And so this has an excellent slipcover to this as well. So yeah, I figured, you know what? Why not just have them both for now? And then once I get through the special features, I can figure out which one I want. Maybe I can just combine these into one. Frankly, that's probably what I'll end up doing, just to have the best of both worlds. But I don't know which slipcover to keep because I think they're both great. So I would like to have both of them in the collection, but I don't know. We will see. But anyway, I added this one here to the collection. These are the Sleeping Beauty, the 2008 release, and then the one I already had in the collection, the Diamond Edition release. I was trying to find this one for quite a while, and I'm happy to say I got it for a better price than I initially saw it. This is 21 Bridges. So at my local disc replay, they wanted, I want to say, around $10 for this, and I was kind of surprised that it was so much when everything else is now like $2.99 to $4.99, and so I ended up holding off there. I found it at Hamilton Book, brand new for $5, and so it was in my cart, and I figured the next time I place an order, I'll just pick this one up, but luckily I found it in person for around $3. I think this was very cheap and part of like a buy. I think theirs is buy 4 get the 5th free, if I'm not mistaken. And so yeah, I figured obviously this is a no-brainer. This is the way to grab this one. But yeah, this is supposed to be a really good one. It stars Chadwick Boseman, who is obviously excellent, so excited to see this. And I guess this one is about a manhunt for a couple of cop killers. The 21 Bridges is a reference to the number of bridges, I believe, that enter Manhattan, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, should be a good one. 21 Bridges. I've also been searching for this next one for a very long time, and I'm so glad I held off because What We Do in the Shadows was much cheaper at Media Reload the other day than I've seen it previously. This was only $8. When I saw this, the only one other time I've seen this in the wild was at Disc Replay, and they wanted, I believe it was near $30 for this, if I'm not mistaken, and so there was no way I was doing that. So very happy that I was able to get this one for a good price. An old buddy of mine was in love with this film. I used to do a podcast with him, Mark. Shout out to him if he's watching, which I'm sure he's not. But he loved this one and always recommended it. And so now that it's finally in the collection, I can do that. This is a vampire movie, but it's supposed to be hilarious. I guess it's like about filming a New Zealand documentary crew is like filming this vampire family. So it sounds very unique and interesting and actually sparked a TV show, as many of you probably know now. But yeah, I've never seen the movie, so happy to check this one out. This is What We Do in the Shadows. These next two are very fitting because these were also movies that I talked about with my buddy Mark on the Cinefessions podcast like a decade ago or so, but we loved these. This is Dead Snow and Dead Snow 2, Red versus Dead. So I have not seen these since we did our podcast episode on them. I don't even know when it was, but it was a long time ago, and we really enjoyed these. Personally, I actually liked the sequel more than the original, but they're both just really good zombie films, and they are exactly what you expect them to be given the titles here. It is Nazi zombies. I almost said Hitler zombies. It's Nazi zombies, and it is just an absolute blast. It is so funny. Both of these are Norwegian films, and so they are subtitled, but they're excellent. I got thinking about these again the other day for some reason, and I needed them again because I never had them in the collection. So I picked them up off of eBay, both of them, for pretty darn good prices. So I was really happy with that. I think I paid less than $10 each, so that's pretty good, and that's after shipping and everything. But yeah, really happy to have these in the collection and to get a chance to revisit them. Dead Snow and Dead Snow 2, Red versus Dead. You know what? What the heck? Let's keep the theme going, right? So on episode 100 of the Cinefessions podcast, we talked about Jaws. Well, today I have on 4K Jaws 2, just to tie that up and put it away in a nice bow. But anyway, yeah, I found this on 4K for a very good price. I have not upgraded these. Actually, I think you can see them. Can you guys see them anymore? I've moved things around a little bit. No, I don't think they're behind me right now. But yeah, so I've had these on Blu-ray, the whole, quadrilogy or whatever, and I'm not upgrading. I'm not paying the price to upgrade them, unless I find them cheap, which is exactly what I did here. So this was under $10, I believe. So I thought, that's a good price to upgrade Jaws 2 for. So yeah, I decided to pick this one up and excited to check it out on 4K. I don't think this was this the one with all the AI, like creepy crowd members at different points? Let me know if it was this one or was it Jaws for the Revenge? I can't remember, but either way, happy to have it on 4K. I'm sure it's going to be an upgrade from the Blu-ray behind me, which, who knows, I'll probably end up holding onto that as well. But actually, no, I don't need to because it looks like this actually does come with the Blu-ray too. So yes, now I have Jaws and Jaws 2 on 4K, so I just need 2 more to go to complete that collection on the as upgrades, and hopefully I can find those at Disc Replay as well for very cheap. So this is Jaws 2. And last but not least today is one of my 12 most embarrassing blind spots of 2025, which, let me admit, as I'm sitting here, it is March, and I just watched my first of my 12 embarrassing blind spots like 2 days ago. So I am a bit behind as I film here today, but I am excited to continue on, and this is probably going to be the next one I will watch. Arrival. So of course I talked about this in that video, and I mentioned there that I didn't have it. I don't even think that I had it in the collection, period. And so I decided to grab the 4K. I think Miranda recommended this one on 4K specifically, and said it just looked amazing. So had to get it, and it was a good price on eBay. Surprising, this I expected this to be a little bit like just a cheap 4K pickup, but it was around $15 if I'm not mistaken. So a little bit pricier than I would have guessed, but yeah, happy to have it in the collection. No slipcover on this one, unfortunately, but still excited to check this one out finally. One of my 12 most embarrassing blind spots of the year I now own on 4K. This is Arrival. All right, another stack of physical media goodness today, and even some random movie soundtracks on CD. Did not expect to have any of those in any of my hauls this year, but alas, here we are. But anyway, guys, let me know down in the comments below, have you listened to any of these soundtracks or watched any of these movies? And if so, what do you recommend I put at the very top of the list? I would love to hear about those thoughts or anything else down in the comments below. I appreciate anything and everything down there. So thank you guys so much for that support. But with that said, that is going to do it for today, guys. So thank you so much for checking out this video. And before I let you go, I'll just encourage you all to consume some media today. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you all next time.